Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have a package to open. This is a TRM Atom, and if you've followed me for a while, you may already know that I have already owned a TRM Atom, and my review of it was super positive. Loved the knife, and I really only gave up that knife because my brother really wanted one, and it was funny. So he actually kind of sparked the conversation about getting a TRM between he and I'm much better at like searching out knives in the knife community and finding them, but I also wanted one. And so when he was like, if you see one, let me know, I was like, yeah, will do. And he was open to getting either a Neutron or an Atom, and then I found a Neutron and I was like, do you want it, or how do you feel about it? He's like, maybe. And then I was like, I'm just gonna buy it, because he kind of hesitated. I think that's at least the way I'm remembering it. So I bought the Neutron, loved it, and then saw an Atom pop up, and because I was liking the Neutron so much, I bought the Atom, and I was like, next one I see, I'll get for him. But sometimes they don't pop up all that often. Anyway, so then I had the Neutron and the Atom. I actually liked the Atom a little bit better, just both in its size, and that had the deep carry clip and a couple of things. Now there's the new Neutron, which I should probably try as well, because that's kind of taken some of those things that I really like about the Atom and added them to the Neutron. Anyway, ultimately, my brother still really wanted an Atom the whole time that I had it. And after I'd finished reviewing it, I just wasn't carrying it as much because I was carrying things I was reviewing, and he really wanted it. So I sold it to him for what I was in it for. And he loves that knife. He's even gotten some extra scales for it, and he enjoys it quite a bit from what I understand. So the other day, Kevin left EDC, let me know he knew a guy who had a DLC Atom that he was willing to sell that was a new unbox, and so he gave me that guy's information. I hit up that dude and we made a deal. So here it is. It's a lot of backstory and not a lot of knife, so all the same crowd that's mad that I haven't shown the knife yet can be mad on this one too. All right, so in here, wrapped in foam, nice, we have a TRM box. This seems consistent with what I remember of other TRM boxes. I don't know if they've updated this at all. Let's see, on this one it says Atom Liner Lock DLC Forest Green, and it's the milled 3D G10, which is another difference for this one compared to the one I had before. The Atom I had last time was the flat micarta scales, and it actually had all of the hardware anodized bronze, including the thumb studs, which I understand the guy I bought it from had to send it to TRM to have them reinstall the thumb studs because they're like press fit instead of screwed on, which was kind of cool, made it a little unique. But here we have the knife in the box. I dig this color of green. It kind of looks like, to me, it's like a British racing green, like an Aston Martin looking color, or an old Jag. So I think that's kind of cool. But I'm also curious to try these 3D milled scales, because I've heard they feel even better in hand. Oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah, so they've got this kind of pattern on them, which I'm not always a fan of, like patterned scales. Sometimes I just don't dig the way that they look, but I don't mind the look of this pattern. It's pretty cool. So you can see it's G10, and it's got this milled in section, and they are like kind of rounded. They've got like this radius to them, if you can see that. Whereas, like I said, the micarta ones that I had were just kind of slab flat scales. Yeah, this is cool. I feel like, now I'll have to look at a picture, but I don't remember my Atom having quite as much of a cutout, like a radius around here either. So that seems nice. I might be crazy. But yeah, as you can see, this blade is all black, still 20 CV, and all of the hardware is satin, including the thumb studs, so it's got these kind of like pops of bright silvery tone. Let's see how it flicks. Flicks like I remember my Atom flicking. I don't know how many of these they've done in DLC. I know I definitely don't see nearly as many of them as I do the non-coated ones, and their DLC is sweet. I could tell in the photos that I was gonna like it, because some DLC coatings just seem really like caked on. They seem more paint-like than others. This is a little firm. We're gonna have to tune this up and get it where I want it. But this DLC seems much more like bonded with the metal and like not a thick layer. It's just like a film, if you will, and I like that. I don't like when DLC is seems caked on or seems paint like. That's not a plus for me. Yeah, I mean, this seems like basically what I remember of my Atom, but mine was smoother. I was the second one to own it, and I'd carried it quite a bit myself, so I imagine a little KPL dripped in here ought to work wonders. But I was worried that these contoured or milled scales would seem a little bit thicker, and this knife still feels really, really thin to me, which is good. That's one of the shining features, in my opinion, of the Atom. Yeah, the ergos feel good. I do feel like I feel a little bit more than I recall feeling. Obviously, it's hard without having them side by side, but the little bit of jimping here kind of on the lock bar, I can just feel that a little more. Not necessarily in a bad way. It's not like super aggressive jimping. It's not cutting into my finger or anything, but I don't recall feeling that on the flat scaled one. Anyway, this is sweet. I'm glad to have an Atom again. I really, really enjoyed it the first time that I had one. I liked the Neutron as well. I'm looking forward to the Shadow. TRM, I think in every one of my TRM videos, I've felt the need, and I feel it again, to take a minute and just say what a cool company that they are. Especially right now, with how many people are constantly kind of debating between the USA-made knives versus Chinese-made knives and everywhere else made knives. And I just feel like TRM is one of the best examples of a US company. Family-owned, from what I can tell. Really cool, nice staff. Marianne over there, who I've talked to now a few times, is just super, super cool, really kind, very polite. Like, they seem like good people. And the fact that they sell these for the price that they do, being made in the US, is impressive to me. I think these DLC versions retailed for like $240 or something like that. I think the non-coated ones are even a little bit less than that. And to get a 20 CV nested liner lock with 3D contoured scales, a nice deep carry clip, good coating, and like all good hardware, made in the US with US materials, like usually when you say all those things and you add US to it, my mind immediately goes to like, oh, you're probably talking about maybe a $350 knife. I don't know, it just seems like for a small US company, they're really being fair with their pricing, and I respect them for that, especially because even though, like, in their Facebook group, if you purchase one of their knives secondhand, there's kind of actually rules on how much you can mark it up compared to new, which is, I think, oftentimes can be a very good thing. The secondary prices I've seen get pretty bananas for some of these, not on their Facebook group, obviously, because they can't moderate it when it's outside of there, but the fact that these knives have kind of proven that they can sell for more, that people will buy them for more, and that TRM continues to just like kind of hold at their conservative pricing and offer a really quality knife for the money. I just like that about them. And yeah, it's one of those American companies that I like supporting and I like talking about. And it's like also the knives are good enough that if anyone ever asks me, like, should they try one? My answer is, of course, yes. These knives are fantastic. They're really genuinely good. This is one of my favorite knives to carry as a primary for like an EDC just around the city or around the house because it's so slim, it's nice and light. It just carries like an absolute dream. The blade stock being nice and thin, the way it cuts. I mean, you can watch my review. I adore the way this knife works as a tool and the way that I'm able to interface with it and cut things with it. It's a truly exceptional cutting tool, and yeah, it just makes them really, really easy to recommend. So I'll probably do kind of a review after I've had this one for a while, just maybe talking about how the DLC holds up as I start to use it, and yeah, any updates on thoughts since the last time I did my review. I guess it'll be kind of a little more long-term now since this is my second one, and I'm more familiar now than ever with it, or I will be once I start carrying this, but I like the TRM Atom a lot. So, it's out of the box. It's what I said I would do. I'm not going to do a first impressions one on this one because I've already done an unboxing before, a first impressions and a review, and this is just another one. So I'll do some kind of a additional review, but that's going to be it for this. So this is just a new knife for my collection, and this one my brother can't have. So thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll talk to you then.